Actually, more people voted in last November's election than voted at any time in the history of this country. I guess that's the good news. People are participating in their system. The bad news is we're not totally sure who all of them were. We're not sure because political partisans, using the coronavirus as their justification, instituted nationwide mail-in balloting and then eliminated virtually all of the safeguards that we've had for many generations against voter fraud. Those safeguards designed to preserve the public's faith in our system. And yet still, Democrats are telling us voters are being suppressed. And that's why we need a new law against voter suppression that, not coincidentally, gives the Democratic Party much more power. And we must do it right away or else we're racist.
That's why H.R. 1, S.R. 1, and H.R. 4 are such essential pieces of legislation. Because whether it's happening in Georgia, in Arizona, in Pennsylvania, in Kansas, in Iowa, where voter suppression is rearing its head yet again.
We're very proud of H.R. 1. We think it is the Constitution of the United States. We think it represents the democracy of our country. The first 300 pages to remove voter suppression. And you see how necessary it is when you see that over 40 states have over 250 laws now that they're striving to pass to lower voter participation.
There's a pandemic of voter suppression everywhere you look. Republican legislatures are trying to stop, in most instances, black voters from voting and all other voters from voting. So H.R. 1 is imperative.
Didn't it supposedly get the vaccine? Why is she wearing a mask? You get the vaccine, but you still have to wear a mask? Because why exactly? Anyway, Democrats view H.R. 1 as the most important bill, and that's why they call it H.R. 1. It's the first. And if you're against it, you're racist. So what would it do? Well, among many other things, it would mandate nationwide vote by mail with no photo ID. Oh, so instead of an ID, you just need to sign a statement that it's really you, and then you can vote. It's the honor system. So Democrats say the law is necessary because minorities in this country don't have ID. And that's why they can't drive or fly in airplanes or live anywhere, cash checks, or even buy Sudafed at CVS. Candace Owens is the host of Candace. We're happy to have her on tonight. Candace, do you have a government-issued ID? And if you do, how did you get it?
I'm so excited to announce to the world that I was actually able to secure government-issued ID because I am smarter than a fifth grader. And this is such the bigotry of low expectations. It's not even though, because the Democrats know that what they're saying is absolutely foolish, right? The idea that black Americans are wandering around like Neanderthals going, how did we do it? How did everybody do this? This would mean, Tucker, we've never been into a hotel room. We can't get hotel rooms. We can't rent a car. We can't buy a car. We can't buy liquor, cigarettes, all the things that require just a simple form of identification. That means black Americans don't even have a bank account, Tucker. Can you imagine? We're running around going, how do we do it? How do we do it? Because we can't Google DMV near me and get there and provide basic, pieces of education. It's so insulting. And it's funny because they don't think that people understand what they're doing. Democrat strategy is so simple. What do we want to accomplish? Anything that stands in our way, call it racist. And why do they call it racist? Because the truth here, Tucker, is they perceive black Americans as stupid and emotional. They view us to be low information. They want us to be their pawns. So if they call it racist, that means black Americans will go out and they'll go attack that thing that they called racist. Look at this bill. Look what Georgia's doing. It's racist. Now they want black Americans to be used like pawns to run out into the streets, to riot, to boycott, to scream and to yell, and to basically amplify whatever it is that the Democrats are trying to achieve. And at the end of the day, all that ever is power.
Well, I think that's about the best description I've heard in a while. But just because we're pretty literal on this show, if you really thought that there were millions of people who didn't have government IDs and somehow had no place to live and couldn't have a bank account or go to the store, if you really believe that, why wouldn't you start a program to help people get IDs? I mean, that might even be a program I would support. Like, I don't know, why not? Why not help people get IDs? Has that occurred to anyone?
Right, exactly, because they don't want people to have ideas that allows them to flood our system with votes, which is exactly what they're after. Again, it's all about power. And you have to appreciate this, by the way, Tucker, at the same time that everyone's talking about vaccination passports. They see no problem with that, right? Everyone must have a vaccine. We're going to start to instill vaccine passports. Last I checked, you need an ID to make a doctor's appointment, too. So I'm not sure how black Americans are going to possibly be able to do that. I'm going to have to file and say, sorry, I'm black. I can't do it. I guess that's what I'm going to have to say.
Well, Can you, and this is, I've never thought of this, so I don't know the answer, but can you get a vaccine without an ID?
I don't believe you're allowed to make a
can.
doctor's appointment without an identification. So I guess even asking people to get vaccines, Tucker, that's racist.
But can I ask, like, where's the concern? So people without an ID, as we both established, and everyone who lives here knows, you really can't live in the country without ID. We literally give IDs to illegal aliens because we say they need it. You can't live here without one.
That's exactly right.
You got to kind of, you wonder, like, why aren't they upset about the lives people with no IDs are leading in this? You have to be homeless and indigent not to have an ID. Nobody's trying to help these ID-less homeless people. Have you noticed?
That's exactly right, because they know everything that they're saying is foolish. It's just more political rhetoric, and the Democrats will say anything. They will call anything and everything racist. All they want is to make sure they can jam through their policies. And again, don't forget this, they just think black Americans are too stupid to realize that they really do live by the bigotry of low expectations when it comes to black Americans. And I'm tired of that. It's such an insult. And so I say to black Americans, wake up. Look at how that party views us. They view us as animalistic people to further their own interests, and I'm completely done with it.
Boy, they really hate you for saying that. I know you wear as a badge of honor, and I'm glad that you do. Candace Owens, great to see you. Thank you.